What's up, guys? I'm back with another YouTube video, and today's video is going to be how I made $1,300 today trading Nasdaq, and I'm going to be going over the full trade recap, what my thought process was and why I think it was a good trade. So overall, first let me go to my Discord, and this is what I notified my Discord on what my draw on liquidity is. Now usually I do explain why or what I'd like for the draw on liquidity to be hit. However, today I was just very focused on just hitting this draw on liquidity. I just don't know why. I was just fully bearish. Just based off the 4 hour, it just looks like we only want to take this low and we do not want to go any higher. We pretty much already took out this high over here and we just started dumping. And now we retrace back into a 4 hour fair value gap, which is just proving to me that we always do is we want one of these lows, any of these lows, and obviously the first one would be this one, followed by this and this. So this is what I notified. I just want to see price just to flush this draw on liquidity. That's literally all I said. 10 minutes in, we already hit the trade. So that was market open at 6:30, and this was the 6:30 candle right here. And as you see, we do pump up a little bit and just displace downwards. We displace another time and we get some type of like bullish candle, just kind of like an indecision candle where we don't know where we are. However, as I would enter this trade as long as we have a stop above this 1 minute fair value gap, just in case price wants to retrace into here and displace lower, then we won't get stopped out. So instantly when I saw this, number one, I was already very confirmed on the draw on liquidity that we were in a 4 hour bearish gap and we wanted the lows. And on top of that, we already confirmed the draw on liquidity 1 minute into market open, and we have a perfect setup already. So that's where I just entered, and I put my stop loss above right here because in my opinion, if price is going to come back up here, then my draw on liquidity is invalidated, and I don't think price is going to come back up here and then displace lower all the way to my take profit. So I think this is a good stop loss position, and then my take profit was over here. However, I did not wait for the full trade. If you guys saw my trade recap I posted yesterday on Instagram and TikTok, you guys could see that I did close and I re-entered somewhere around here, and then I hit the take profit. So I closed around here because I saw price was kind of wicking back upwards, and I didn't want to come all the way up and retrace all the way to this gap and get stopped out because I was break even. So I just took profits here, and then I re-entered off this displacement around right here and took profit at the draw on liquidity. So let me go to the image since it's the next day right now. The profit won't show, so it was right here, $1,294.20, and this is the exact trade that I took yesterday and the screenshot. And then yesterday, right when we took that draw, we started getting long opportunities to this 1 hour fair value gap over here. So I did notify Discord that we could possibly go up there. However, I hopped off the charts. I only take one trade per day, and especially if it's a trade like this where 15 minutes into market open, I'd rather just take the day off, just make $1,300 and just get off the charts. So this is exactly the trade that I took. And so my thought process on this was, okay, we're in a 4 hour gap. So this is today's price action. So we're right here. So we're in this 4 hour gap right here. As you see, this wick was wicked in. So if we're in this 4 hour gap, the higher time frame is showing that we tapped a confluence, and now all we need is to take out these lows. We have good lows over here, we have even better lows over here, and we have a bunch of lows that we can actually go and take out. So in my opinion, it would make absolutely no sense for the 4 hour to invalidate this fair value gap, inverse this fair value gap, and switch to bullish. Number one, it doesn't really make sense because we just swept this high. As you see, we literally just swept this high and just proceeded lower, and we create a 4 hour gap proceeding lower. So now, in my opinion, if you want to find the direction or where the market is going to go, it only makes sense to hold this 4 hour confluence and then proceed lower, take out a draw on liquidity, then proceed and displace through that gap, which is exactly what happened. We went lower, took out the draws lower, and then we proceeded and made this gap, invalidated this gap. So now we want these highs or etc. These highs up here, which today we was really choppy. I didn't really take a trade at all. But yeah, yesterday was pretty clean. And then based off the 1 hour, that's what we have. So based off the 1 hour, pretty much same concept. We were in a 1 hour fair value gap instead. And again, we had this very nice bullish leg up here to go and take out these highs over here. So when we were taking out these highs over here and tapping into that 1 hour gap, we made pretty decent fair value gaps, and on the way down we displaced lower through all of those fair value gaps, proving that we are not bullish anymore and we want bearish momentum. If we're displacing through this many hourly gaps and we're creating new bearish hourly gaps, then that shows that market shifted. So now we have a market structure shift, and now all we need is a tap into a confluence again to proceed lower, and that's exactly what happened. We had this 1 hour confluence that we tapped into, and right off market open we have this huge candle that displays through absolutely everything. So that's exactly my full thought process on the trade and why I actually took it. Overall, it was actually a very decent trade. I You can pretty much enter honestly anywhere. I did enter a little bit earlier than I should have. I usually do enter off like a 1-to-1, so I would have probably entered something like this maybe. I would have probably entered something like this if you were to leave it up to me, with my stop over here just in case we want to retrace. But I was very confident in the draw, and I was very confident that this is going to hit, especially with that 1 minute confirmation right off market open. That's why I entered a little bit earlier. And yeah, that's how I made $1,300 that trade. And that's pretty much it. Honestly, I had really no other reasons for the trade. That's the only things. We just had a nice displacement towards a draw on liquidity that was pretty confirmed at, and we had a higher time frame retracement. I usually wait for a 1 minute retracement, so something more like this would have been more ideal. Where's the tool? It's right here. Something like this would have been more ideal if we went like this and then proceeded into this 1 minute gap and then went like this. I would have probably entered like this somewhere. This would have been my ideal entry model. This is usually what I wait for: a low time frame retracement followed by displacement and entering to a high time frame draw on liquidity. However, since we already had that 4 hour and 1 hour fair value gap, the bearish fair value gap that we retraced and tapped into and got displacement on the lower time frame, I didn't really care about that retracement because we already had a higher time frame one. Honestly, if the higher time frame has a retracement, that's literally all I care for. That's like an even better confluence than doing a 1 minute retracement or a 5 minute retracement. But yeah, that's overall the reasoning for my trade. And yeah, there you go. 6:41, literally 11 minutes after market open, we hit this trade and everything. And yeah, that's it for today's video. And it was just a simple trade recap. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions on videos you guys want me to make, let me know. I'm always down to make any videos you guys want. I also have a full, completely free trading Discord. I give my signals out, my daily draws on liquidity out. I have a full trading chat and a full trading glossary that can help you learn all the terms for free. And I do have one-on-one mentorship help if you guys would like more personal, direct access to my phone number. I can hold your hands through profitability. We've all been there at one point, and honestly, it would be so much easier if someone can actually keep you in check and teach you something without you having to learn different strategies, different things, and always messing up, and it takes you triple the time that it would have. And that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.